What is up? It is Big Char Trades back with another video, and in this video I am going to be recapping my trade from today. Today we hit a nice 36 point banger 1.3R short, and this trade recap is actually pretty important because going into today I was bullish and I still am bullish, so this was more of like a scalp, but I'm going to break down this entire trade and you're going to completely understand why I took it. I made like $9,370 across all my accounts. I made like 1,700 across five 150Ks and then 720 on my 50K. So with that being said, let me break down this trade so you understand why I took it. Now going into market open, as you heard, I was bullish. Well, why was I bullish? Because we had, first of all, we had this daily SMT right here. As you can see, ES did not sweep this low right here, and the NASDAQ clearly swept that low. So we had that bullish SMT, and then on the 4-hour time frame, we also had that bullish SMT as well. And then on the hourly, let's drop to the hourly, we had some bullish SMT inside of this hourly fair value gap. As you can see, the NASDAQ clearly tapped into this gap right here. Mark that out, where on ES we did not even tap into that gap. So going into today, my draw on liquidity was this hourly fair value gap. I originally wanted New York PM highs to get swept right here, but I saw this hourly gap and I was like, oh, okay, this is a nice higher time frame PD rate in premium. I am going to target that as my draw. So market opened and immediately started running, as you can see here. Let me see. Yeah, so market opened right here and immediately started pushing into this gap. Let me drop down to the 1 minute to show you. And immediately started pushing into this hourly fair value gap. And if we take a look at ES, we did not tap into that gap. So once I saw that bearish SMT inside of my draw, I was like, okay, I think price wants to go a little bit lower, maybe tap into this hourly gap on ES before we run a little bit higher. So price traded into that hourly gap. And as you can see, we still haven't tapped into that gap. So that's even some more bullish SMT that supports my mid to long-term bias here. But once price made this extreme bearish SMT inside this hourly gap, I was like, okay, let me wait for a confirmation. So I waited for this 1 minute inverse fair value gap. Now, when you take a look at this 1 minute inverse fair value gap, you're like, okay, 1 minute inversion, like that doesn't mean anything. How are you going to take a trade because of a 1 minute inversion? Well, it wasn't just the 1 minute inversion, right? I'm not over here just trading lower time frame confluences, right? It was the entire narrative of my bias and my draw. It was everything in one. So I was bullish. My draw was this hourly gap. We created extreme bearish SMT inside of this gap, as you can see from this candle right here. And that told me, okay, maybe price wants to go a little bit lower and maybe tap into a PD ray before going higher. So that was my thesis. So all I needed was a confluence to align with that thesis. And as you can see right here, let me just hide this. By the way, if you want this session indicator, it's called ICT kill zones and pivots. But basically, so with that thesis, I took this 1 minute inversion right here, and my final TP were these lows. Once again, I'm going to explain how important it is to have internal highs and lows as your final TP. They get hit more often, they increase your win rate. Like I could have targeted all of these lows, right? Like maybe these relative equal lows right here, but since my bias was long and I was long today, I didn't want to be too egregious with my final TP. So I just took this trade. Final TP was there, 1.3R. Stop went at this high right here, and as you can see, it played out pretty quickly, 36 points. And here are my executions. So this was my trade from today. Again, this trade was definitely a little bit more for experience. Like you need to have experience in the market to take this trade because it wasn't solely based off the confluences. It had a lot to do with my narrative and like what I thought about the market and where I wanted the market to go. If you look if you're inside the narrative and you looked at my analysis for today, you would know that I was extremely bullish. I mean, I marked out the daily SMT, the 4-hour SMT, hourly fair value gap, and the SMT inside of it, and the PM highs looked really good for me. But once this SMT was created, I was like, okay, maybe we want to go a little bit lower, and that's exactly what we did. So this concludes my trade recap from today. If you took the same trade as me, let me know in the comments below. If you got stopped out, like, it's okay. It's a no news Monday. You shouldn't be sizing heavy into days like today. This trade was, it was a nice trade, but it definitely was a little bit more difficult. Like, this isn't just a standard trade recap. This is a pretty important one. So with that being said, let me know in the comments below if you took the same trade as me. If you didn't, let me know what trade you took, or if you have any criticism or anything, let me know. I read literally all my comments, so if you have anything to say, just go ahead and say it down below. But with that being said, hope you have a great rest of your day. I am hopping off the charts. I'm not even going to look for the rest of the day. I don't care. I was 1 for 1. I took a dub. That's it. Like, that concludes my trading day. So with that being said, peace out, and I will see you in the next one. Also, subscribe if you're new. You can follow me on your other socials. And if you're not in the narrative, what the fuck are you doing? Go join right now. We got some huge things coming this week. But yeah, so peace out. Like, comment. I read everything. Peace.